Hello everybody! SkyPF may be here again, surprisingly. Back with Nippon 2016. People have been asking repeatedly if I'm going to be doing Makoto's route. And I was like, yeah, sure, okay. And I talked about it in my update video, but if you guys missed that, I'll repeat this. We are doing Makoto's route for the new game, so the true ending only. Everything else, no. If I run into any cool secret stuff, then yeah, I'll record it and upload it. But as for anything new-wise, or anything old-wise, you won't see that. If you want to see anything from the old games that is in this version, go check out my Let's Play of the original Nippon that I did with Epic Chuck, as well as the Let's Play of the 2015 version that I did by myself, and they're both on my channel and playlist. Go check those out. So without further ado, let's get this started. From my memory, I don't exactly remember what is new, but I do remember that it'll show us where we've been. So I'm trying to think. I think Tokyo. Okay, I know Shibamata is new. Rikugien is new. That's not new. I think Tokyo's new. Yeah. So it's gonna be Rikugien, Shibamata, and Tokyo. So we're gonna go with the Rikugien first because it says it's a fucking garden. So why not? No weeaboo here, but whatever. I think I like to go here. Rikugien. That's a pretty serious place. Well, as long as I'm here in Japan, I want to see as much as really Japanese stuff as possible. Good point. There are many gardens in Tokyo, and they get a lot of foreign visitors like you, Scott. It's just an ordinary park, though. You don't sound very interested, Akira. Well, walking around gardens is boring. They're all the same no matter where you go. There's lakes and hills, and you walk around drinking tea. That's a pretty blunt way of putting it. It sounds like Aki-chan's not very interested. Why don't I show you around then? Whoa, game lag. What do you do this for? Okay, sure, you handle it, One-chan. I will. Okay, Scott, I'll show you around the Rikugien. Okay, thanks, Makoto. We gon' find out what's going on with this new stuff. How do we get to the Rikugien? It appears the closest station is Komagome, so we can use it just to take the Yamamote line from Ikebukuro, head towards Ueno, and then go to the forest station down. It's that close to Ikebukuro? It's amazing to have a park that close to a place like that. There's a lot of places like that in Tokyo. There's Shinjuku, Gyoen, and Shinjuku, and the Imperial Palace in the center of Tokyo. The large gardens that daimyo used to keep around their castle were left behind and became Japanese parks. Oh, I see. So they were made by big shots in the Edo period. That explains why they're in the middle of Tokyo. That's right. They are known as the daimyo tengen. They used the Hamarikyu Gardens, the Kiyosumi Gardens, and the Koshikawa Korakuen Gardens, and the Rikugien where we're going right now. I see. A garden that a daimyo poured his money into. I'm curious to see what kind of place it is. Ride that shit, boys. Go, go, go. We walked about 7 minutes down a big avenue from Komagome Station, and it came into sight. Right here, this is the Rikugien. Ooh, an achieve. We take those. Wow, what an amazing gate, but it's not wood, it's brick. They had brick during the Edo period? No, this is the fence. This fence was made during the Meiji period. It's been rebuilt since then, so this isn't a contemporary work. Around the start of the Meiji period, Iwasaki Kiyafaro of the Mitsubishi Zaibatsu bought this garden. The fence was built then. Huh? This all belonged to one guy? The mansion of the Yanagisawa family, retainers to the Tokugawa, was bought by an industrialist in the Meiji period. Then it was donated to the city of Tokyo in 1938. It's been open to the general public ever since. Oh, I see. It was originally a daimyo's house after all. I wonder what it would feel like to live in a place like this. I can't even imagine it. Well, shall we go in? Yeah. Wow, it's like a totally different world in here. We're really in the middle of a city? They said the entry fee is 300 yen. Hey, that's pretty cheap. Nice for a poor tourist like me. It doesn't cost too much to go in. You can kill a lot of time here, so it might be a nice sightseeing spot. And you can learn about Japanese culture too. There's some maps over there. Let's take some. Wow, the place is huge. Coming here was a good choice. It's so quiet, huh? Hard to believe there's a big street with cars racing down it so close by. It's a great place to escape the hustle and bustle of the city without actually leaving. There's nobody around. It's just me and Makoto. It's a nice atmosphere. What's wrong? Huh? Oh, nothing. Anyway, would you tell me more about the Rikugien? Of course. The Rikugien is a daimyo Teian built on the orders of the Yanigasawa Yoshiyasu, the man I mentioned before, as part of the official residence. It was originally a piece of flat land, but they spent 7 years piling up earth to make hills and to dig out lakes. It took 7 years? Incredible. Gardens with hills and lakes that you walk around a circuit around are known as Kaiyushiki Tsukiyama Sensui Teian. At the time the Rikugien was constructed, it was the second largest in Tedo after the Koshikawa Korakuen Garden. Wow, it's an amazing place, huh? The shogun at the time, Tokugawa Tsunayoshi, visited it 58 times. That's just what's on the record. That's how highly prized his garden was. Of course, I suppose there might also be an indication of how close Tsunayoshi and Yanigasawa Yoshiyasu was. We're lucky that it's managed to survive this many fires in Edo, the Great Tokyo Earthquake and the bombings from the war. In 1953, it was designated a national scenic site of great beauty. It's a garden with a lot of history, and even the shogun liked it. I can't wait to see it. Well then, why don't we head to the garden's greatest selling point? I swear you're already in the garden, how's it? Whatever. Ooh, those old as fuck trees, right? Oh, this tree is huge, but it's shaped kind of funny. What kind of tree is it? This is a weeping cherry tree. A cherry tree? You can get cherry trees like this? Well, I guess it might look different when it's in bloom. The kind of cherry tree you're familiar with is the Prunus Yedoensis, right? The weeping cherry tree is a different species of cherry tree. These are species of there are species of cherry trees. There's so much I never even knew. Wow, I'm so fucking bad at English today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually not even intrigued about cherry trees, but whatever. Yes, there are really there are really quite a few types. The double blossom, the kawazu, the winter sakura. There are just too many to count. I actually didn't know that. When it comes to cherry trees, when I was growing up, my old home that I live in a new house now, but my home previous to this one where we pretty much grew up, in our backyard there were multiple cherry trees that would repeatedly grow cherries year round, and none of us ate from them because they definitely killed all the birds that ate those cherries. But yeah, that's some trivia about me. Ooh. Wow, there are that many. I had no idea. Why would you? The Prunus yedoensis is still the overwhelming majority. About 80% of Japanese cherry trees are Prunus yedoensis. Why are there so many of that kind? Because they have a lot of flowers and they're pretty. There's an influential theory that the yedoensis was crossbred to have as many flowers as possible. Huh? You mean it has so many flowers because they made it that way? It's said that they were bred by gardeners in a village called Sakura Imura during the Edo period. There's also a theory that they sprung up naturally, but nobody knows for sure. But there is one thing we do know. All of the yedoensis in the world are clones of one single yedoensis. Clones? Yes, because the yedoensis doesn't produce seeds. They can only reproduce through grafting and cutting. Oh. In other words, all trees there are copies made of the original tree. Their DNA are identical. Wow, that's crazy. People loved it for the flowers it produced, so it's been copied many times and spread all across Japan. I see. That's kind of amazing. Cherry trees. I mean, the yedoensis has a secret like that. But that one is a different species, right? Weeping cherry tree, you called it? Yes, as you can see, the branches are supple and they droop. That's why it's called that. Oh, there is an explanation here. It said that weeping cherry trees bloom earlier in the year than the yedoensis. Oh, and this tree was planted in 1950, so it's 60, 70 years old. Really? It's bigger than I expected. It truly is grand. Oh, look, there are some pictures from when it's in bloom. Oh, wow, it's almost like a geyser of pink water. Yes, it says here in the explanation that its fountain-like appearance is the best feature. really does look like a fountain. I guess that's the way the branches droop down. When I see these, I can really tell it's like a cherry tree. It seems they hold an evening light show during its flowering period too. Wow, I bet that's really beautiful. I wish I could have seen it in bloom with Makoto. I wish it were in bloom right now. Huh? Oh, yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Really? We're so in sync. Yeah, we are. Does that mean we feel the same way too? No, I'm probably overthinking it. I am glad though. Ooh, it's a lake. Wow, what a great view. Yeah, to be honest, whoops, wrong button. It's this one. Wow. That's some nice water. Look at that motion blur. Okay. The lake view here was modeled on the Waka no Ura Wakayama Hen. Wakayama Hen? Waka no Ura? Wakayama Ken is Wakayama Prefecture. They have a lot of famous landscapes that were used as the basis for Waka poetry, known as Waka no Ura. Didn't I just say that? Wait, I'm opening up the fucking log. Yeah, okay. And it was created to resemble those? That's right. Oh, I see. But why? Because they're just that pretty? It seems the goal was to inspire a heart of Waka with nice scenery. A heart of Waka. It's a difficult concept, isn't it? To be honest, I don't really understand it myself. Yanagisawa Yoshiyazu, who built this garden, was apparently very knowledgeable about the subject. The Rikugi part of Rikugien refers to the 6 types of Waka. So he wanted to use the garden to express the essence of Waka, huh? Yes, to express the 6 types of Waka, he decided to recreate the Waka no Ura that many Waka were written about. They say that this garden recreates 88 famous places that poems from the Manyoshu and Koin Wakashu, was that right? Wakashu were based on. There are 88 famous places in this garden? Apparently so, of course. I don't think we'll be able to see them all. Yeah, there's a guide there. Let me see. Those hills over there. Those are the Imoyama and Seiyama, part of those 88 places. Wow, really? To be honest, I don't really get it. What's with that island in the middle of the lake? That's apparently called Hodai Island. That's not one of the 88 places. It was apparently built by the Iwasaki family after they bought it. But that rock you see is just poking out from the water is called the Gario Rock, and it's one of the 88 places, apparently. Wow. But I really don't get it. The heart of Waka stuff is a tough concept. Is it difficult to understand? Huh? Yeah, a little. Yeah, to be honest, I can't say I fully understand it myself. Really? You don't either, Makoto? That's right. I did a lot of research so I could probably explain everything to you, Scott. But I can't explain things I don't fully understand. I'm so sorry. No, that's fine. You've done so much for me. Domo arigato. Not at all. Do itashimashite. Whew. I guess if Makoto doesn't understand it, it stands to reason that I wouldn't. I feel a little better, and I replied to her in a weeaboo fashion. But I'm really glad she went to so much trouble to explain things to me. Well, rather than worrying about such difficult concepts, let's walk around enjoying the scenery. Yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, I'd love to. Why not? Okay. Show me new shit, mate. Give me the CGs. This place is very peaceful, too. All I can hear is from the birds singing. There are a lot of birds here, huh? Yes, they're very cute. In the early spring, there must be lots of Susuji, too. Susuji? Azaleas. Oh, yeah, azaleas. The Rikugien is famous for its azaleas. They're spring flowers, so they're not in bloom now, but I think that's all the flowers around here are Susuji. There are Susuji bloom in Edo period. There was a Susuji bloom in Edo during the Genroku period, and the Rikugien ended up being the center of the fad. After that, the Susuji planted here back then had survived to what we see today. Holy shit, I'm so bad at English today. What's wrong with me? Wow, so when the Susuji are in bloom, the place might look just as it did in the Edo period? I wish I could have seen it. The Susuji aren't in bloom, but we can't visit a place named after them. Oh, there is now. There it is now. Where is it? Do you see that hill there? Can you see the building on top of it? I see it. That's called the Susuji Tea House. Tea house? Do they serve tea or something? They're a bit like rest stops. I do believe you can drink tea there. Iwasaki Yataro created these too. They say the pillars and beams are made from the wood of the old azalea plants. Oh, wow! They made it from azalea wood. There are lots of tea houses like this in the park, like the Takemi's tea house and the Fukiyage tea house. It's so big, I guess you would need places to rest. We had done a lot of walking. Why don't we go to the Fukiyake tea house then? You can drink matcha and watch the scenery from there. Matcha? You mean whisk, whisk, whisk? That's right. They won't be making it right in front of you, though. They'll serve you some that's already made. Is that still alright? Yeah, I'd like to see it. This is the Fukiyage tea house. Ooh, achieves. Wow, it has such a great view. It's so nice and cool when we're next to the water. I'm glad it isn't very crowded right now. Irashimashite. Iraisha. Whoa. Irashaimase. Oh, wow, why am I so bad at reading? Irashimase. Whoa. Irashaimasu. Oh, okay. Irashaimasu. O futari-sama desu ka? Welcome, table for two. Yes, O futari-sama. You shouldn't refer to yourself as sama. Oh, right. O futari desu. Please place your order here. Then find yourselves an empty table. We order here first, huh? Matcha, right? Yes. Oh, the matcha comes with sweets. They're very inexpensive. You get so much for just 1,000 yen. Really? This is a nice place, huh? Thank you very much. Oops, you overheard. I mean, what a fine tea ceremony. What? Oh, Scott. Did I say something weird? No, I'm sorry. Now, what would you like to order? I'll have some matcha. Do you want matcha, Makoto? Yes, 2 matcha, please. Whoa, Kashikomarimashita. Do you want the matcha cold? We probably should have it cold. It's hot out. What about you, Scott? Matcha is usually served hot, right? Yes, hot is the basic type. Then I think I'll try the hot kind. You have to start with the basics. 1 hot and 1 cold matcha, right? Well, I'm not even reading. I'm going to read that again. Just try. Kashikomarimashita. Scott, is this your first matcha? Yeah, I can't wait. 2 matcha. Here you are. Oh, here it is. Arigatou gozaimasu. Take your time. This is matcha, huh? This doesn't seem like very much of it. What's the matter? Nothing. It's really pretty green color. The sweets are pretty too. They don't really look like food. Wagashi are made to be enjoyed with the eye, after all. There's ice in the cold matcha. It looks delicious. Is this your first time having cold matcha? Yes, my first time. Then it's the first time of both of us. Shall we? Yeah, itadakimasu. Well, how do you like your first matcha? It's a little bitter. That's true. It is quite bitter. But black coffee is bitter too. I was surprised that it wasn't like standard Japanese tea, but more like tea espresso, huh? What a good example. Try some of the sweets too. Okay, itadakimasu. The sweetness of it goes really well with the bitterness of the tea. Doesn't it? I've heard that espresso has a lot of sugars in it too. Whew. Delicious. This really does calm you down, huh? I'm glad you like it. Now I'll try mine too. It's so cold and delicious. I was so sweaty and thirsty from all that walking. It feels like permeating every inch in my body. Have they always had cold matcha? I don't think so, since it would have been much harder to find ice back then, wouldn't it? It's only been very recently that you could buy cold tea in kombini. So even the most traditional cultural aspects of Japan are gradually changing, huh? Yes, I think there are some things that change, and some things that don't. Good point. The garden that has changed in some places, but there are some things that have been there the whole time, like Tsusuji. Things that change and things that don't. I feel like I understand that, kind of. There are some things about my relationship with Makoto and Akira that I hope will change, and some things I hope won't change. The breeze is really nice. The place is so soothing, isn't it? Makoto's hair is blowing in the wind. It smells so nice. Makoto's silhouette is glistening against the sparkling surface of the pond. She's truly beautiful. Wow. You fucking thirsty shit. Well, don't you think so? And then she does the head bob to make you think kawaii. Huh? Yeah, it's very calming. My heart is racing though. We're almost there. Come on. The top of the hill, right? Wow. We can see the whole garden below. What a view. This is Fujishiro Ridge. Ridge? You mean like a mountain? Yes, this is the artificial hill made from the piled up earth. They call it Tsukiyama, which is written with the characters for Built Mountain. There's a real Fujishiro Ridge in Wakayama that is based on. It seems Fujishiro Ridge is the tallest point in the garden at 35 meters tall. 35 meters? And it really used to be a person's lawn, right? It's pretty amazing that they made something like this for their personal garden. It's a degree of luxury that we can't even imagine nowadays. Apparently, the peak is known as Mount Fuji. Back in the Edo period, it was said that you really could see Mount Fuji from there. Can you see Mount Fuji from here? It must have been really beautiful. But the scenery right now isn't bad either. Yes, I agree. Outside of the old traditional gardens, you can see modern day skyscrapers. You can see a view this interesting back in the Edo period. We've walked around the entire park. Did you enjoy our time at the Rikugien? It was really interesting. The heart of Waka that Wagisawa-san put into this place is something I don't quite understand, of course. But it was really fun, and I really feel really refreshed by it. I'm glad to hear you say that. I had fun too. I'd love to go to the Wakayama someday and see the places the garden was modeled after. The Waka no Ura? Yes, that might truly be fun. If I ever get the chance to see it, would you show me around? Yes, certainly. Really? Then it's a promise. Yes, it's a promise. If I could write Waka, I would try to encapsulate these feelings into a poem, but I really do hope I can go someday. That felt real short, but let's see if there's any home events. Oh, she's cooking. I didn't want to click that. Speed. Let's see if there's anything new in this day. If there is, the game will stop me, so. No CGs during that whole day, too. It's kind of sad. The fact that Makoto kind of gets robbed with CGs. Day 2! Okay, so now that this is day 2, I'm just going to go click skip a bit. Oh, look, titties. Oh, still. Skip ahead again. Skip ahead again. Skip ahead a little. Okay, now that she's asking what we're going to do today, I'm going to go save and end this episode here. Thank you guys for watching. The next episode of Go Nippon, my first trip to Japan, we shall be hyping it up with the next day with Makoto, hopefully, and try to get the true endings. KDPF may be out. See you guys next time.